What is going on, members of the kingdom? My name is King. Today I have a very special video to bring to you guys. I've been playing Minecraft for about 11 years now. So today I'm bringing you a top 10 tips, and I even have a bonus tip included as well on how to be a better player at survival Minecraft. Whether you want to play hardcore, whether you want to play normal, whether you want to just destroy every mob that you come across, it's all up to you guys. Here are my top 10 tips on how to be better at survival Minecraft in every way. So tip number one is learn how to play on a world for a long time and not get bored. This is one that a lot of people do not actually touch on, sadly, and it actually makes for a very good, if you can pull this off, then you automatically are a step ahead of your peers, where the average Minecraft player actually plays a survival world until they either beat the Ender Dragon and quit and make a new world, or they play for about 2 weeks and then they get bored and they make a new world. They have all these goals and aspirations whenever they first start a world on this is what I want to build, this is what I want to do. I'm going to make this amazing, huge fantasy district, really awesome town, and they end up doing none of it. So learn how to play on a world for a long time. The best way to do that is give yourself a whole bunch of goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals on mining a certain amount of blocks, or killing a certain amount of mobs, or building a certain kind of house or district, or all kinds of different things, even if they don't actually matter to your world. Like make a caravan of random traders that go down, a man-made road that you're going between your towns that you made. Make multiple cities, make multiple towns, multiple villages, make a kingdom's quarters, a jarl's quarters, a blacksmith. Even though all of these things are completely worthless, they all add to the ambiance, the overall ambiance of your world, and it makes for a fantastic time a year down the road, 2 years down the road, 10 years down the road, to walk through these worlds and see, wow, I remember all these things that I did and blah blah, and it just pieces it all together. If you guys want a separate video on this, I can totally make a top 10 on how to not get bored on a world if you'd like. Tip number two is learn how to build better designs. We all have done that formation where we build just the straight up oak log, oak plank cube with a door on it, right? Like I used to build stuff like that growing up as well. Now I'm building stuff more along the lines of this or this. And the way that I've done that is, of course, I've played the game for a very long time, 10 or 11 different years and stuff, right? But the easiest way to build better designs is try new materials you have not done before. I recently just made a world, I'll send a screenshot right here, where I built the entire thing in, first and foremost, a modern style, which is something I've never done in my entire 11 years of building. I also built out of concrete and a lot of glass, like a lot of modern buildings are, and those are both materials that I've never really used in my builds. I might have a touch of glass here and there, but I'm more of a medieval builder where they don't use a lot of big windows and big, windows for doors and stuff like that. It's a very different, uncomfortable almost change of how to build. And the reason why I did that is because I want to be better at overall. I want to be better at the game and not stuck in just one type of design, one type of style, medieval for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Another way you can do it is build in different shapes. If you're used to doing cubes, then what you can do is build a building that's a very large cube that has smaller cubes incorporated into it to make it a very abstract, very abnormal design that you could do for that building. Another thing is building in circles or spheres or triangles or diagonals. There's a lot of different shapes that can be actually done in this game that a lot of people don't experience with them because it makes them uncomfortable. You've got to get rid of that fear. You've got to get rid of all of those, natural inhibitions where you're stuck in this one kind of design that you want to do. Tip number three is simply put, stop dying. That might sound, a lot more easier said than done, but in reality, all you have to do is, first and foremost, start playing on hard difficulty, get off of peaceful, get off of easy, get off of normal, get on hard. Hard is where you don't necessarily have to be a good player to play on hard, but it does make you a better player. All the mobs do extra damage to you. They take more damage to kill them. They have a little bit different spawning rules, but not that different in the grand scheme of things. It mostly affects zombies. Such as they're able to break down doors and things like that. Zombies are able to bust down wooden doors on hard mode. But the main important thing is literally light up the area around you. Make sure you don't have any dark spots. If you guys are curious on how to tell if a mob can spawn in a certain area, mobs in this game spawn at light level 7 or below. If you're on a PC, all you have to do is hit F3 and it shows you a whole breakdown of everything that you can do on there. And one of those is server light level or client light level. Make sure that it is above 7, so at least 8 or above that. More importantly is if you're in a cave, literally don't walk into a ravine if you're afraid of dying. It's the most dangerous place in the entire game besides the nether, and literally a ravine has so many problems because mobs can drop down on top of your head. They have ledges that can spawn mobs even if you light up the area below them. It's a nightmare. So basically just make your own caving systems, make your own strip mines, stay away from ravines if you're afraid of dying, use shields, use totems on dying. Once you get to be a good player, you don't need either one of those. But the key is to always watch your back, always keep your health level high even if you're not being attacked. So keep your hunger bar full, keep your health bar full, and you should be completely fine. Tip number 4 is more on what we just touched on, is learn spawning rules. If you don't understand spawning rules, look them up. Read the wiki. That's why it's there. It's under Minecraft fandom or wiki or whatever. You can literally learn that mobs cannot spawn within 24 blocks of you. That's a very important one to learn. They cannot, once you get to a certain distance away, I think it's 128 blocks, then it automatically despawns mobs. And you might ask, why is that important for me to know? It's important if you ever wanted to make a mob tower or a mob grinder or some sort of system where spawning of mobs is very important to know, and if you want to optimize that to the best way possible, it's very important to learn the amount of blocks you need to build away from you, the amount of blocks that you are allowed to build away from you without, you know, ruining the effectiveness of your thing. You also need to learn how villager spawning rules work with iron golems and all kinds of things like that. It's actually very simple to learn. They have a spawning tab on the Minecraft wiki, and you can learn how every single mob spawns in the game. A lot of this does come into just playing the game over time and learning practices. There is one exception as well, is there is a very, very rare rule with zombies that is called social spawning. A normal zombie can spawn 24 blocks away from you, just as all the other mobs. They can't spawn 23 or less blocks. However, if you hit a zombie, there is a chance that it spawns another one, and it can spawn within 24 blocks of you, basically. Tip number 5 is learn to get geared up quickly and enchant quickly. Your first few days should not, I repeat, not be focused on building a house for protection and a bed and blah, blah, blah. You can get a bed, place it out in the middle of nowhere, no walls, no nothing around it, and literally just sleep whenever it gets dark. Your main few first days should be focused on getting leather and getting paper. That allows you, once you get 46 leather, one of those is used for a book for an enchantment table, and 45 of those are used for 15 bookcases, along with the paper, of course, to be able to get a full enchantment setup. And once you get that, you're able to enchant your first pickaxe to Fortune 3 once you get level 30. And then once you get Fortune 3, you get diamonds 10 times quicker, technically 2.5 times quicker on average, than if you had a normal unenchanted pickaxe, and it allows you to get fully maxed out gear way, way quicker, which leads you to tip number 3 again, is helps you to not die. Tip number 6 is learn to terraform. It makes things beautiful. What I mean by that is terraforming, if you guys do not know the terminology, is basically building up dirt or sand or leaf blocks or different things that are naturally generated blocks to make it look like your build is either set on top of naturally generated territory when it's not, or to build up a natural looking formation around an existing build already to make it more incorporated and not just flat into the surrounding terrain. Trust me, if you guys want like the #1 terraformer that has ever existed on this game is actually Good Times with Scar. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description if you guys do not know who he is. He has the best terraforms that I've ever seen in my entire life. So some ways that you can actually learn to be better is just by watching other people that learn how to terraform or know how to do these different things that I'm talking about, and they're better than I am. They're better than you are. They're better, you know, and you want to learn how to get better yourself. The best way to do that is by looking at other people's work. Tip number 7 is try things that you have never done before. Donald Trump, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett all know business tips and business tricks that normal people don't know. That's why they're rich and we're not, right? So try things that you've never done before, such as making a villager breeder, making an iron golem farm, making a guardian farm, doing a nether base and the new nether updates to learn the different materials and things in there, learning the different spawning materials or spawning rules rather, by making mob towers or mob grinders and things like that. It's important to explore and experiment, and yes, that might lead to deaths, but in the long run it's important to learn how things work. Tip number 8 is have an efficient hotbar setup for easy switching. Now this is quite important actually. When you think about what tools are used most in the game, a pickaxe is the first one that I think of. A pickaxe is used the most often in the entire game, hands down, bar none. Another one would be food or torches. So have your food or your torches in your offhand. If you play Bedrock, I'm sorry you're not able to do one of those things, so put them on slot 8 and slot 9. That way, if your pickaxe is on slot 1, you can quickly scroll by one click, gets you to slot 9. That's your torches. Another click is slot 8, gets you to your food if you need to eat something, or a potion, or something that's quick of access, right? So your pickaxe should be number 1, your sword or your shovel should be number 2 and number 3. You can interchange those depending on which one is more important. Your axe should be number 4 because it is the least used tool in the game besides obviously a hoe. And if you want to incorporate a bow and arrow into there, you can also do a bow and arrow as slot number 4 and then trade out your axe for number 5 or something like that. But learn what works for you. Don't just have a mix and match jumble of different tools in your hotbar. Something that I've noticed is that Green, of all people, as good of a player as he is every single clip that man has in his series, he has a different hotbar setup. His pickaxes are all in different places. He has multiple pickaxes in his hotbar, which is very weird. He has a sword that's in slot 2. Then next clip he has a sword that's in slot 8. It's very, very weird. So get a system set down, figure out what works for you, and it'll save you in the long run by not forcing you to panic and stuff like that. You already know where everything is in your hotbar. Tip number 9 is always have a stack of building block in your inventory. Dirt, wood, things like that, okay? And the reason being is that you never know if you're going to need to pillar up. You never know if you're going to need to block an exit or an entrance so that you don't get attacked by mobs that are attacking you. You never know if you're going to have to bridge across a certain canyon or a lava pool or something like that, or cover up water that's washing away pushing you closer to those deadly mobs and whatnot. You never know when you're going to need a building material, right? So you want to have a stack of stone or a stack of dirt at all times with you. It's just very, 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 very effective and very efficient, and it helps you out in the long run. You also never know when you're going to need to place, like, let's say there's a hole in the ground that you don't want to be there. You just cover it up with dirt really easily. I always use dirt. Now, something to note is do not make this block scaffolding. Scaffolding has a lot of problems. You're not able to actually bridge across an open plain or a river or a lava lake very easily because you can only scaffold out 5 blocks to the nearest pillar of scaffolding. Also, if you want to shift on scaffolding, it actually drops you down. You can't actually shift and get on the edge of the block to place something else somewhere else. So in my opinion, building block of dirt would probably be best option. More importantly, bring a water bucket everywhere you go. Please, please, please start doing this. You can stifle your fall damage. You can lower yourself down. You can wash mobs away. You can wash torches away. More importantly, you can get rid of lava lakes, which is the most useful thing in the game, other than you can't do it obviously in the nether. But if you get set on fire or something, just plop your water bucket down. It's very, very important to have that. And that goes back to tip number 8, is have it in an efficient spot in your hotbar switching. I always have mine on 7. That way, if I'm ever using my pickaxe, I just do 3 clicks to the left, boom, already got a water bucket. And last tip that's on this tip is please start carrying wood around for crafting torches, crafting sticks, making new tools, making a crafting table in itself, making an extra chest. You never know what you're going to need wood for, but it is a very, very, very important resource. And I cannot tell you, over the 10 or 11 years that I play this game, the amount of times that I have been caving or mining or something like that, and I've ran out of torches and had to go all the way back home to craft more. Just carry wood with you. Tip number 10 is always place torches on your right or on your left. You will never in 100 billion years get lost in a cave. This is really important. A lot of players that are not very good at the game get lost when caving, and then they can't find their way out, and they end up just killing themselves to get back to their bed, their respawn point or whatever, or they end up getting lost and they get killed by mobs, or they have to tunnel upwards, which is never a good idea either. By the way, never tunnel down or tunnel upwards directly. They have to spiral staircase upwards. It's just a nightmare. I always place my torches on the right. That way, if I ever see torches on the left, that means that I'm going back the direction that I came from. It's very, very, very easy tip, very important. You'll never get lost in a million years. Tip number 11, which is actually a bonus, is have fun. Minecraft survival is all about the grind and the journey that you use, or that you go on rather, to have fun. So if you're always dying, read these tips again. If you're hating your builds, learn number 2, which is better building designs, things like that. Go back and watch this video over again. There's tips for everything in the game in here. But Minecraft is made to be fun no matter what it is that's fun to you. Some people find PvP fun. I personally don't. Some people find creative building fun. I personally don't. But this is for survival only. So if you find that some of these things are not very fun to you, then just don't really worry about them. Don't really do them. You know what I mean? But if you're always dying, learn how to not die, aka tip 3. If you're hating your builds, learn to build better. If you lose motivation, learn tip number 1. You got to figure out how to keep it going and keep the fun of Minecraft up in your spirit and your heart. That way you don't just scrap your world constantly and move on to a new project and you have never anything cool or mega builds or anything awesome to show your friends. And honestly, Minecraft is just all about a good time. So, use the things on the list to get better. Your Minecraft journey will be much more fun. You'll get a lot more out of the game. It'll actually extend the longevity of your Minecraft journey as well. So thank you all so much for this short little video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you do enjoy the video, make sure you hit that red subscribe button below. Hit that bell so you get notified whenever we upload a new piece of content or a video for you. I appreciate everyone who is in here watching right now. If you'd like to hop into my Discord to talk to me, give me video ideas, hang out with me while I play Minecraft, then you can join my Discord, which is in the link in description. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Have a great rest of y'all's day and be safe. Thank you all. Bye.